you're going to want to keep in mind when you're going out and you're looking for your flooring, all pieces of wood have a personality. It depends on the color it is and its width. So Kimberley Seldon is here to show us what you might be thinking when you were looking and perusing through different planks of wood.
You totally get me, thank you.
I get you, girl.
Because I hear people go like, oh, I want to create a place that's like casual and comfortable, and then they go and they do this dark ebony floor.
Yeah.
And it's ruined. Now you have to move. It's never going to work. So
it's not going to be casual and comfy.
Right. So just some gross generalizations that can help you.
Okay.
The darker the piece of wood, in general, the more formal. So if you've got an urban pied-à-terre and you're aiming toward this range of dark pieces, great, beautiful choice. The darker it gets, also the more unforgiving it is in terms of lint and fluff and dog hair, unless your dog has black hair, etc. So you want to be aware of that. When you start moving down the spectrum, you can see that more grain is going to be revealed. So grain will give a pattern and texture to things. Again, the darker it is, still the more formal it is. So this floor is a more formal choice than this floor.
Right.
The grays are really on trend. Lots of people doing grays and lots of people doing driftwood, which is why I'm going to suggest you be a little bit careful with those colors, because when it's trendy, there's always the opposite swing, right? So you get a little bit more life out of things that are a bit more natural.
Okay, I was just about to ask you that, because that would be my hesitation to go with a gray. Like, I'm worried that how long is this going to last for, and how long am I going to be in love with that look? That's
right. Now, one thing to keep in mind, this is an engineered wood floor, so there's a nice big thick piece of real wood on top. You can sand it down and you can restain it. If you go for a really inexpensive engineered floor, there may be no possibility to change that color ever. So you are in some measure going to get what you pay for. In addition to the color of the stain, then it's also how is the wood treated. Here you can see this one has been beat up. It's like my kids lived in this house, right? And you have a friend with stilettos and there's Andrea, she came over, and it's all okay because it's casual and it's friendly and it's forgiving. And sometimes that's the best way to go, especially if you have dogs with big scratchy fingernails, you know? So here's almost a similar color, but much more smooth and much more formal, because it's not all that distressing that's going on. We're seeing a return to bleached oak. Believe it or not, if you guys remember the 80s.
What do you think of this?
We're seeing, you know what, it's kind of like fashion, right? They tell you if you did it once, you probably shouldn't do it again. I think I would have to turn down a job that asked me to do bleached oak cabinets. Just because I know how this ends. I know how this ends, and it's not pretty.
I get why people are doing it though. Like there's a lightness to it. It's not me. I haven't really caught that trend yet, but
I'll tell you that I think that between this and this, here you've got the natural wood grain coming through and a bit of the white bleach on top. To me, this is safer. It's a bit closer to more natural. And then over here, I mean, just spectacular. Look at the amount of graining. So keep that in mind. It's going to add a visual layer of texture to the whole house. Just the wood grain. So if you're paying for a beautiful oak floor, you do want to see some of the wood, right?
That's fair.
And then, of course, you can get into patterns, which make it even more formal. So here we've got a beautiful herringbone, and it's in a light color. So this herringbone is not as formal as this exact same herringbone. One's a bit more formal. And over here, one of my favorites, this is the Versailles parquet. So if you lived in Versailles, this would be your floors.
There you go.
Or if you live in a tiny little condo, this might be your entire entranceway. But very pretty. And the other thing I totally forgot to talk about is we always do floor plans first. First, not last, but first. And the reason is, look here, so we've got the entranceway. You're probably going to have a huge carpet on there, which is telling me I don't want to spend a ton of money on a fancy stone treatment right there, right?
That's true.
And then moving into the kitchen, you might think I've got the herringbone in the kitchen and the dining room instead of the entryway, because again, in the entry hall, I'm going to have big carpets and runners. In the kitchen, I'm not going to have any carpets and runners, so you're really going to see the pattern. So don't forget to do your floor plans and add down your carpets.
Yes.
So that you know where a pattern can stop and start. And really important are all these transitions. How do the pieces connect? And you might think you can leave that up to your tiler, and maybe you can, but make sure you have a tiler who is anal retentive.
Right.
If you do.
So that they care about it. Now I want to ask you one more thing. What about the width of the plank?
Okay, thank you.
So if you have, like, I like a more generous width.
Yes.
What does that say about my personality? What does that mean?
Well, the
Am I more formal? Go ahead, have at it. What does it say?
The wider
What does it say about me?
The wider it is, the more graceful and more generous it is.
Thank
And that
you.
is, by the way, true for hips, for those of you who didn't know that. And booty. The wider it is, the more gracious it is, the more expensive it looks.
I agree.
Right?
So if you have a smaller plank, does it look more casual though?
It looks more casual and it looks less expensive because it is. Because if you're talking about something like wood, your tree has to be pretty big to get these nice big planks. So it's about the width of the plank. It's also about the length of the plank.
Yes.
The less expensive varieties of engineered floors might have 3-foot and 4-foot lengths.
Yes.
The more expensive ones will have 7, 9, 11-foot planks, and then you're really getting to a product that is luxurious.
Got it.
Yeah.
Good information. I love the
Wide hips.
psychology behind decor. It's so
Exactly. Cool, huh?
Yeah.
I know.
All right, and Kimberly, where did you get everything from?
Oh, lovely northern wide planks. They ship everywhere and they're great to deal with.